Hello. I'm gonna give everyone like a second to get on. In the interim, I wanna just kind of like, my heart's beating really fast. It's so funny because I've been saying affirmations all day. I've been like praying all day, asking for protection and making sure that my words are guided and that I say what needs to be said and not speak from a place of ego, but speak as a channel for my higher self and what she's been going through and healing through and just kind of like coming to terms with and healing. That's what this is about, right? That's what attunement is. That's why I wanted to create this platform or this space, was to talk about vulnerabilities and to come at you with with my vulnerabilities and the ways that I've healed and the ways that I've found my voice. And so I'm like shaking. With that said, I think these past few months for me have been overwhelming, to say the least. And that's not in a selfish way at all, because I know the majority of what's going on isn't about me, but it also is about me. It's about all of us and where we are collectively, what we've been through collectively, especially as Americans, or whatever Americans means, especially as a diaspora of so many different nations, trying to cope. And trying to cope in this moment, which is so scary, which is so painful, which is so expository. There's a lot of exposing going on. There's a lot of hatred. There's a lot of opinions about people and who they are and what they should be doing to become a better version of themselves or be a better version of who they are. And I just want you to know that if you're imperfect, you're normal. And if you're sad, you're normal. And if you are confused, you're normal. And if you don't even really know how to make sense of reality anymore, at this rate, I feel you. I really feel you. And I want you to feel you more than anything, because I feel like we're all so quick to judge and to contextualize someone or take someone out of context or force someone to become their past and their pain and their unconscious selves. Because let's just be really straight up, we live in a world of complete unconsciousness. Everything, all the systems that exist are unconscious. We do them, at the core of it all is greed. What we think is wealth, which is monetary. What we think is justice, which, by the way, only God can serve. And that's a lesson that I've been learning a lot, is that it's not my place to tell someone else how to ascend or how to dig into their pain and say something better or in the right tone or in the right phrasing when they don't know better. I'm not equipped to do that. Only God can do that. But I can love people through their pain. And I can love people through their imperfection. And I can be there for people that I consider my friends. And I can help them grow the same way that they help me grow. That's what real relationships are about. When you love someone, you don't hurt them purposefully. You don't drag them through the mud and shame them and publicly humiliate them to show them or teach them to be better. That never works. And I know that doesn't work, because pedophiles aside, I don't have no empathy for pedophiles. But everything else, man, we're living in a very sick world. And it's sick for a lot of different reasons. And we all play a part in it, whether we want to or not. Whether we want to or not. Okay? I'm sorry, I'm an empath, so like I feel all the pain all the time. So I already said very clearly to my fan base when I posted about this that I was gonna be in a very, I didn't even expect to be this emotional off that shit. I haven't even read what I'm gonna read. But I just feel like there's this deep need for healing, and we're not gonna get it in cancel culture. We're not gonna get it in making people their past and their mistakes. And that's not to say we can't hold people accountable, because that's the most important part of this whole process, is seeing people and being like, dude, no, that's not right. This is not cool, and here's why it's not cool. But when I have those conversations with people, if I really love people, because I love people, especially people that I support, especially people that have supported me, especially people that have only ever shown me love, only ever taught me how to be more of myself, only taught me how to grow, I will never shame someone who I love publicly. I won't. That's not my character. If I have a problem with somebody, I'm gonna call them and I'm gonna talk to them about it. And then we are going to heal. Because that's what I care about. I care about my interpersonal relationships outside of this fucking fake ass universe that y'all live in. This online world that we all are on all the time is bullshit. It's a facade. It's Facetune. It's lip injections. It's ass shots. And not to say that you can't do what makes you feel beautiful. I'm with that. I'm super with that. But I'm also with the fact that a lot of people watching don't know this shit is fake. You don't know this shit is fake. And these people are not happy with who they are. And when they look in the mirror, they do not love themselves. And that's the point of this entire thing right now, you know? This entire realm that we're in this moment that we're in history, truly. And history on a human 3D bullshit level, and history in like human history, like humanity. Like, we are living manifestations of the fear and scarcity consciousness. We're all running around thinking that we can heal each other when we haven't even looked at ourselves. We don't even seek to heal. We seek to harm. We seek to make someone feel the pain they've caused. We seek to make people feel worthless for being human, for not knowing better. And while some people need to be called the fuck out, and I agree with that, I will never, ever, unless you're Trump, shame you publicly. Like, just to harm you. To teach you something maybe, but not to harm you. And if you're a close friend of mine, I will have that conversation with you personally. And I highly recommend that if you care about the relationships in your life, that you're not trying to create threads on Twitter about someone's worthlessness. I hope that you're spending all that energy that you feel that you need to give someone else and that you need to correct someone else. I hope you're spending that same amount of energy on yourself. And growing. And healing. Because even someone like Trump is a symptom of a lack of love. That man never, ever, ever has known love in his life. Never in his life. Never felt it. Never held it. Never seen it reflected. Never had it. That's why he's allowed to act as unconsciously as he is. Not allowed, excuse me, but that's why he acts as unconsciously as he does. because he doesn't feel it. Because we don't feel each other anymore. Because we all think that we know best, and we don't even know who the fuck we are. And with that said, today I wanted to read an excerpt from this thing. It's quite worn out, as you can see. This is called My Dark Diary. If you read my caption before this live, you know that what it is. But for those of you who didn't read the caption, because most of us don't read, this is just kind of like a moleskin that I had with me. It's like short and sweet. During some of the darkest parts of my life, where I felt nothing. And everything at the same time. So, maybe some art in the meantime. A little doodle. I read this morning, and I did something last night where I was feeling this heavy weight on my chest because of everyone's expectations of me on so many different levels, so many different realms. People thinking that I need to be something. And I sat with that feeling and was like, why do I feel so triggered by other people's opinions? Why do I care? Why am I always looking for validation in people that don't know me? What is the point? You know? And I sat there and I was like on the toilet. I had like this intense ass cry with myself. Like I just started bawling and I just started screaming all of the things that I was scared of. Everything. Even the things that I hadn't had the heart to like admit to myself that I was scared of. You know what I mean? Like I'm scared of rejection. Like I'm scared of pain. I'm scared of being misunderstood. I'm scared of fucking up. I'm scared of pursuing what I love most because I'm scared of what people might think. And I don't want to be that way. I don't want to be a nice, strong ass bitch. And let me tell you, I am. Because that's where I'm finding my power, is in harnessing this pain, harnessing my ability to feel all of this, even the shitty shit, and sitting in it, fucking feeling it, letting it out, acknowledging it, you know? Acknowledging it doesn't make me any less strong. Acknowledging it doesn't take away how much I've overcome. How different I am now, you know? How much I've grown since I was this little girl. This girl. The first thing in the book is, I don't know how I let you in. When? Don't know why I thought you'd stay. When I know you're all the same. It's the first page. Just imagine like the loneliness to write some shit like that. Like 16 years old in a fucking vortex. I was 17 or 18 by then, right? I don't even know. What was 2015, yo? How old was I? Somebody let me know. I'm sure you know. Okay. Oh, wow. Lots of feelings. So, another. You sit here and always try to figure it out. It's not meant to be figured out. It's meant to be felt. 10/23/15 Euro tour. I just watched the Amy Winehouse documentary on my way to Milan. I'm on my way to Milan to do this singing thing, this group thing. I'm scared. I'm extremely full-fledged, bone-shaking scared. It was scary because I don't think I've ever related to a human so much. There were so many parts of that documentary where I saw myself in her. Not only physically, which is eerie, but mentally, emotionally, I feel like we're the same person. And that scares the living shit out of me. If all this stuff I'm feeling now is already getting to me, making me sad, knowing I'm getting fucked over, knowing I'm in an industry where everyone around me only wants something from me, I wish I could go back in time and hug her. I wish I could tell her she wasn't crazy. I wish I could erase all the awful things people felt entitled to say about her. I cannot stop sobbing because what I heard and saw in that documentary was a beautiful, talented, real, genuine soul. And all anyone around her did was hurt, use, and abuse her. Her family, her friends, the person she allowed herself to love the most, who is the biggest piece of shit. I want to erase it. The fact that her pain and suffering was exploited, tainted, or the way they did not allow her to get better because everything she was doing, awards, carpets, magazines, performances, making everyone else happy was all they were allowed her to believe she was good for. Now, this deeply affected me. Everything she said, I've said. The way she began, I began. The thing she's passionate about, that's what I'm passionate about. We're kindred spirits divided by time, but she is the embodiment of everything I see myself being as an artist. And although I want to help save the world, how can I if I can't even save myself? They didn't let her feel. They allowed her to destroy herself. No one fucking cared. I don't want to allow myself to become what she became. But there is so much more to her than being fucked up. She was numbing her pain. She was dwelling in her silence. She was no longer free to live. And all she ever was inside was free as an artist. Being completely and unabashedly herself. She wrote her life and feelings and sang them straight from her soul. And not one of the millions who were open to hearing her pretty voice and consuming her art could actually listen to what she was trying to say. I hear a voice inside of her that's crying deeper than the words she cares to let you know. She finds escape from reality because no one knows what it's like to be her in this world alone. Viewed and pried and judged and skewed perceptions of a person who deep down inside is trying to make sense of all that's happened to them. No one can keep attention. Just because you give it and expect it to be yours doesn't mean you can choose to suffocate her. Imagine being drowned in flashes. Images you know reflect the broken you sprawled across the media, reminding you that your weakness is showing, and that weak is not acceptable. That we want your art and the most intimate pieces of you, but not if it's pouring out of you in vial instead of melody. Your pain is not my remedy. Keep it to yourself. We've seen it plenty. Get your act together before you start feeling empty. They speak to you and about you like they already know. They speak to you and about you like they already know. The conversations in your mind while you're reaping everything that they sow, allowing you to rip me up and make me vulnerable to words and slurs and lights too bright that make me want to go. I feel like I found you in me, like you were born again, like your legend had just begun. Like there's more to you than the brand and the motive to your success. You wanted to share pretty notes in your head, strung together emotions and worlds that you said that came from in you, always staying true to the music in your head. There's a world inside me you do not know. There are stories and pictures from long ago. Thoughts in my mind that I wanted to say, thoughts I wish I could make go away. They all want something from me. Don't say that you love me when you come before me and always above me. This love isn't real. It's your imagination. An illusion of sorts that's causing me frustration. We haven't even had a conversation. I owe you nothing. The thoughts that are inside of me were meant to stay inside of me. I don't want to share them because you don't appreciate. You expect me to give the more that you take. I can't be the only one fighting for me. Pretty girl, pretty thoughts, but have you heard? She's on drugs. She stumbles by, always needing to escape how weak she is. Can't get a grip, she's throwing it all away. I'm drowning, she says, choking back her tears. The very thing that's kept her drowning, gasping all these years, was the only thing that ever made her really feel alive. The darker one across the room, he makes me want to die. I love him, she repeats again to reassure herself. Tilts back the cup, she's had enough, but won't reach out for help.